Selling with tenants in a property. You can absolutely still do this and you can still get top dollar. Just make sure you follow these steps. First thing you want to do is you want to send an email to your tenants so they have written notice that you're going to be selling the property. Now you also want to be adding your real estate agent in that email so that you can pass them off to the tenants so they can handle the situation and you can separate yourself as the landlord. Make sure you choose a real estate agent that understands the landlord and tenant board laws of Ontario, because selling a property with tenants in it can get you in a lot of trouble if they don't know what they're doing. They have to know the laws of the landlord and tenant board in Ontario, and you need somebody that you know is in absolute control. And I recommend when your agent shows up, they do it in a couple of days after you send that notice. This gives the tenants time to do their own research. Maybe they're willing to find another place and they start looking for another place. Or they might hire a paralegal and they might go online and start searching the landlord and tenant board laws to see what their rights are during the sale of a property. And I'll tell you why I'm okay with this. Because when they know the landlord and tenant board laws and the do's and the don'ts during the sale, you have more control when your real estate agent goes over there and reconveys these laws to that tenant. It's gonna let them see, wow, I'm dealing with a real estate agent, somebody that knows what they're doing. I can't walk all over them, deny showings, try to refuse them from selling or cause any issues, because they can actually evict me for this. So they're going to cooperate and you will get what you want, which is a higher price and a successful sale. And this will set the tone to make sure that tenants know that you're in control, not them, and you're selling this property lawfully without any legal issues coming your way. Now, when you sell that property, you cannot evict your tenant unless somebody buys the property for their own personal use. Do not promise vacant possession to the buyer unless it can legally and lawfully be done, because it'll be you that gets in a ton of trouble, and come closing day, they're just not gonna leave because you didn't sell it lawfully. If an investor buys the property, they have the right to stay. If somebody buys that property for their own personal use and they're looking to move into the property for their own personal use, you can then give the tenant an N12 notice of eviction for that buyer's personal use, and the tenant has 60 days to vacate the property. This is very important. Now make sure it's also written in the agreement of purchase and sale that the buyer agrees to buy the property for their own personal use, and that you as the landlord are gonna submit the legal notices to the tenant in order to do so. Because if that buyer lies, purchases the property, doesn't move in, and re-rents it, that tenant can come back and file against you and you can get yourself in a lot of trouble. Now, if they do lie and they still do that, but you have in the agreement of purchase and sale that he promised to use it in his personal use, he signed off on that, and he wrote an affidavit stating that he was gonna move in for his own personal use, you will be dismissed and the onus will be on him. And I've been to the landlord and tenant board before with this exact scenario, and we won every single time because we put the appropriate clauses in the agreement of purchase and sale. So make sure you follow these steps. If you're selling a property with tenants in it, make sure you abide by the landlord and tenant board. You hire a real estate agent that knows what he is doing. You give the tenant the appropriate notices, and the appropriate clauses are in the agreement of purchase and sale. Now, I am a licensed real estate agent in Ontario. I help tons and tons of investors, which means I sell a lot of rental properties. And if you have any questions, you need any help, just shoot me an email, send me a text, or give me a call. I'll put my information down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video.